What is going on, guys? It's your boy CJR Sports, and today we're coming back to you with another NFL video. Before we get started, make sure you like this video and subscribe for more NFL content. And further ado, let's get right into this video. So, some news broke about Lamar Jackson. I know we haven't really talked about Lamar and his, possibly new deal, his possible new deal coming. I know he said in a previous months ago that he would like just to worry about football and the deal will come to him. Well, now during a press conference, I believe Lamar said he hopes to have a new deal before training camp. But when they said there was a possible holdout, he said that's not on my mind. So either way, if the deal happens or not before training camp, it sounds like he's not going to hold out, which is good for the Ravens and himself. But there was no urgency before, and now all of a sudden there's just urgency. We don't know what happened. If the Baker Mayfield trade, I don't know if this Deshaun Watson massive deal got brought in front of him that's started to making him question it. Is it the $23 million he's going to be fully guaranteed in 2022? I don't know what's happening with Lamar. But I have some reports that I want to read to you guys, and so we can kind of get into that. So Ravens quarterback has pivoted from recent weeks saying that he didn't really want a long-term deal, that now all of a sudden he wants one now. According to USA Today, when they were asked about if Lamar wants a contract as soon as before training camp, he said hopefully. Jackson's entering his option year of his rookie deal and of a base salary of roughly $23 million in 2022. He didn't commit to accepting a new contract before camp starts. I'm not going to say yeah right now, Jackson told Dean. Hopefully, it's God's timing. So, it's just coming down to, is Lamar going to want to play under his fifth-year option, really? And then afterwards, he can dip, get franchise tagged, and then I believe he can also dip again and go get franchise tagged one more time. I think he has the option of getting franchise tagged twice before even getting his long-term deal. But players right now, the NFL, stands not for long. You want the longevity. Know that if I get hurt or this team is going to be committed to me for the future, regardless if I have a one off year, which you can say in 2021 that was Lamar's off year. The Ravens tried for months to get Jackson's attention to get the contract done. They apparently have it. But whether they can reach an agreement on a new deal remains to be seen. Again, Lamar was kind of in his previous comment, it was God's timing, God's plan. If I get my new deal before training camp or not, then all of a sudden he's very adamant, I need this deal. I would like to get one. And he was even talking about possibly a holdout. He said, we'll kind of see about that, which the Ravens, as we can tell from last year, they need Lamar. Doesn't matter how good that defense is. Doesn't matter how good that running game is. They need Lamar Jackson. Tyler Huntley, he did a good enough job where they even kept him almost in the the division run and playoff contention. But there's only so much that a backup quarterback to do. They had Lamar last year. They could have been a playoff team, and maybe they will be the team that representing the AFC in the Super Bowl and not their division competitor, the Cincinnati Bengals. Since the market has increased significantly with, of course, the Browns messing everything up, the tight end market with David Njoku and now the quarterback market with Deshaun Watson at $46 million full guaranteed per the next 5 years. It just seems like that should be the starting point of where Lamar's asking for. And at the end of the day, the Ravens may not want to pay that for Lamar. Because now you're spending almost upwards of $50 million per year for a quarterback who, at the end of the day, if the Ravens feel like they can win with, if they have, a very good supporting cast, they can go somewhere else and try to win with a different quarterback. if that's with Lamar or without Lamar. I mean, they were competitive last year with Tyler Huntley. If Lamar was in there, I think they would have won those close games. Maybe Harbaugh didn't want to go for 2 on those at the end of the game. Maybe in overtime, those games would have a different outcome. Or if Lamar was just in there, those games could have a different outcome. So it's interesting to see if the Ravens are going to pay him, 40, 45 plus, 50 plus $1 million per year to go play quarterback for them, which he gained 15 pounds of muscle. He went from 205 to 220. He's really trying to tighten up his throwing motion. So I think the Ravens rather see what he does this year before giving him that $46 plus $1 million price tag. And the whole complicated thing about Lamar is he represents himself. It's not like during the season that his agency can go out and rep for Lamar as he plays and say, like, you need this guy. Look at him, week 1 through week 5. You would love to have this guy for the next 5-10 years on your roster. But no, he can't do that. The moment training camp starts, he has to focus on football. If his mind is money, he will not play 100%. But that being said, it makes everything so much more awkward because you are representing yourself and you're the one going to the facility every day. So, my opinion, ultimately, he needs a new deal. You don't want the awkward, connection and, that kind of like animosity in the Ravens locker room. Lamar has to be all in, and I think he'll be all in with a new deal. If not otherwise, he needs to be franchise tagged next year in 2023. So he can have that guaranteed money at least. And as it's going forward, maybe the Ravens, and knowing that he'll be on the roster and not have to step foot in free agency, and knowing that he can also not have to worry about money anymore, because guess what? I believe if he's franchise tag, he's like, it's 35 plus mil, 32 plus mil, fully guaranteed. So he doesn't have to worry about money at that point. Then he can worry about, one, in this offseason, him being his own agent and get that deal done before training camp. And then when training camp comes on, he can just worry about football. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about, Lamar now all of a sudden coming out and saying he wants a new deal. I find it very odd. I think the whole Deshaun Watson signing and what's happening with Deshaun Watson and a optimism if he's actually going to play some amount of games this year, I think that's really got Lamar going. If this individual can have 24 sexual allegations, I'm clean, and he's worth 46. I must be worth at least 50. So I can see how that can really change Lamar's thinking about getting a new deal. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Leave a like and subscribe to this channel. And your boy, CJR Sports, and I'm out. Peace, guys.